Welcome, everyone, to another episode of First Impression Sports Talk. I'm your host, Jasmine Pollock, and tonight we have a great show for you guys. I have Anthony, I have Cole. We're going to get into Super Wildcard Weekend. Currently, the Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles are playing right now. The Bucs are leading 10-0, but it seems like the Eagles are on the move. They got a turnover. Apparently, I can hear my dad yelling. So let's bring on everyone, and we're going to start with the game that happened today that was postponed, which is the Bills and the Steelers. Now, Cole, we're going to let you have the floor because you're the Steelers fan. We're going to get into all this talk about what happened in the game and what was your final reaction? What was your reaction during the game? What was your reaction after the game? Cole, you have the floor.
Pittsburgh, I told you so. I told you so. They had no shot of winning this game. Like, I didn't give them any shot to win the game. Now, I have to give the props that, you know what, they fought back hard.
Yes, they did.
But, you know, everything I've said this season, this isn't to brag. This isn't to rub it in everyone's face. I told you so, and I was right. I said at the beginning of the season, I don't trust TJ Watt to stay healthy for a full season. Did he stay healthy for a full season? Staying healthy for 97% of it isn't staying healthy for the full season. And he didn't. He got hurt. Week 18. Said Patrick Peterson, I didn't know. I wasn't really sold. He's older. I don't even think he's that good at all. Inside linebacker. I had question marks there too. Cole Holcomb couldn't stay healthy. Then I got to Kenny Pickett. Said, you know, everyone was telling in Pittsburgh about how this guy's going to be like the next coming of Christ, maybe the next coming of Dan Marino. He stinks. All right. I wasn't sold on him at the beginning of the season. So all of those question marks, they were legitimate concerns, question marks, and I ended up being right on them.
Yes. We have footage.
You know, all the Steelers fans, you know, who said they're going to go 12-5, they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. Every single year, you guys say this. Next year, I'm ready for it all over again. Steelers are going to go 12-5. Steelers are going to go 11-6. They're going to win a playoff game. Spoiler alert, they're not close to winning a playoff game. The defense today stunk. Wasn't a good defense. What else did we do? We turned the ball over a lot too.
Yeah. Yep.
Jasmine, how many times did we turned the ball over? Because Mason Rudolph threw an interception.
And you had
that fumble by Pickens.
Yeah, fumble with Pickens and fumble with Freiermuth.
Yeah, but they ended up
overturned that, and the Steelers still had the ball.
Right, because the ball hit him in the helmet, and he was going out of bounds. Right,
yeah.
Right.
So essentially, three. If you want to
call it 2 turnovers, turn the ball over twice. The Bills didn't turn the ball over at all.
And I think they
Next
scored
thing we couldn't do.
Turnover.
Miles Jack could not cover Dalton Kincaid to save his life. We just left Kincaid wide open in the middle of the field. We left receivers wide open. The tackling, horrendous.
Oof.
Yeah.
Shakir's touchdown.
That was bad.
You can go and say, oh, he made a great play, and he did. That should not happen. He has to be tackled. The Steelers could not tackle today. They could not stop the run. Josh Allen ran all over the field. Ran all over the Steelers. James Cook did the same thing as well. They could not stop the run.
Yes.
The Steelers are now 1-11 without TJ Watt. 1-11. There's your reasons. That's probably the biggest reason why I said they could not win this game.
You did say that.
Mason Rudolph played a good game. I really did. And he played better. Kenny Pickett was in there. The Steelers would have gotten smoked. probably like
I agree.
37-7. Just throw that number out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But there's a lot of team needs this offseason. They got a lot of work to do. They're not close to winning a playoff game. They're not close to winning a Super Bowl. The Steelers are stuck in mediocrity.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to get a mid pick in the first round.
Yep.
How is it going to be possible to really rebuild this team and to bring them a Super Bowl when you're finishing in just a state of mediocrity?
Yep.
Finished 10-7, lose in the first round. Coach Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game since like 2016. 3 playoff victories in 13 years, but he never had a losing season. That's what I'm supposed to say. Coach Tomlin is supposed to be just can't even criticize him because he never had a losing season. All right?
The tough
3
thing.
playoff victories in 13 years is not a good stat.
It's not.
That's good. That's not success. I don't care about the times they ran into Brady. All right? If you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. That's how you win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
But people just go and they just make this excuse of they ran into Tom Brady. I don't care who they run into. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't care. Stop with the excuses. Every single year, it is one excuse after another by the media in Pittsburgh, the fan base. But by next year, I guarantee you, people will predict them to go 12-5 and win a Super Bowl. They won't. I bet you next year they go 9-8 or 10-7 again. I've called everything dead on this season.
Are the Steelers the Cowboys of the AFC?
Yes.
Yes. 100% yes.
Absolutely.
Because they'll always dominate in the regular season, and then come the postseason, they'll either lose the first or second round.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people give the credit to Mike McCarthy, which would be the Mike Tomlin of the AFC or the NFC.
Ooh.
So it's really looking like the Steelers or the Cowboys of the AFC.
You can't say this, okay? Because Mike McCarthy and Coach Tomlin have very similar records.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar records in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Both have won Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But who is viewed as a much, much better coach? Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Like that's how people view him. But they are pretty much the same. Like the records and stuff like that. It's very similar.
Mm-hmm.
But I just the thing that I don't understand is why is Mike Tomlin valued so much higher? Oh, because he never had a losing season? You could go 9-8 for 17 years, and your whole argument of never had a losing season is stupid. I hate the never had a losing season garbage. I hate it.
Let's get into that point. Get into that point.
Like, I want to see some results. I want to see playoff victories. I want to see I want to see some division titles. Okay? Division titles, but also playoff victories. Because if you just win a division title, but you can't win in the playoffs, I don't care. I do not care.
Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys. What do they do? They choke every single year. But Coach Tomlin's probably going to be back next season. I will continue to repeat the same stuff over and over and over again. But I will probably end up being right. And this is to all the fans, especially some of the people in the comments section. This also goes to you. I told you so. I ended up being right. How's your beloved Kenny Pickett doing? Yeah, he's like on the bench right now and he stinks.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Pickett is not a franchise quarterback. Okay, it's 2 years. All right. You can all go and pull up the Terry Bradshaw. Football is different than what it was in 1970. It is way different.
Way
the game
different.
is
Yeah.
completely different. What happened in the 70s with Bradshaw does not apply in the slightest to Pickett. Okay?
Nope.
It is 2024. Let's just take a look at this argument. So Zach Wilson, after 2 years, they moved on from him. They got Aaron Rodgers. The only reason Zach Wilson actually played this year was because Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles.
Yes.
So they moved on after 2 years. Why can't the Steelers move on? Why can't they, if you ask me, Mason Rudolph should be given a legitimate chance to start next year in the regular season. If he is brought back. If he's brought back, he deserves a legitimate chance to start. And he should start over Kenny Pickett because Mason Rudolph is the better quarterback. What we've seen since that Bengals game, how can you make the argument that Kenny Pickett is better than Mason Rudolph? How can you make the argument? And I don't want to hear, but Kenny Pickett's just better. I want stats, and I want someone to try and prove that point. And you can't prove that point.
Yeah.
So
that has a lot to do, Cole, with also, I think a lot of the fans, not you, but a lot of Pittsburgh fans, I think it's because he's the Pittsburgh native, homegrown, down the street kind of guy. He played here, played there. And I think people are in love with the person and the story rather than the results. Again, the results. I don't know what it is in Pittsburgh where it's like, oh, I love the person, love them. Yeah, they could be great individuals. I think Mike Tomlin's a great individual coach. I believe that. But the results are not showing. I'm sure Kenny Pickett is a great kid. The results are not showing. I think that's where Pittsburgh is stuck because you've seen this for so long. You're used to the same person for so long. So now, let's just rally behind them. We just hope that they become this person and that person. And it hasn't happened. And that's what Dallas is in right now, too. Dallas is the same way. The exact same way.
Right. Yeah. Real quick, before I wrap up on the Steelers.
Yeah.
Got a couple. This year, this offseason, O-line. Got to get a new center. Mason Cole cannot snap a football. Horrible.
Yeah.
Mason Cole is just not a good center. He got to go. Out the door. Cornerback, got to get a corner. You got to get another corner to have that second corner that can help out Joey Porter Jr.
Yes,
Joey Porter, great pick. I loved the pick then. I love it even more now. I think he's going to be a number one corner.
Agreed.
You also inside linebacker, got to do something. You're not bringing back Cole Holcomb. He's had injury concerns his whole career. Can't bring him back. You got to get something. You got to get something else. Interior defensive line. Please. We got to get some people that can stop the run.
Please get somebody to help out Cameron Hayward. If Cameron Hayward leaves the field and nobody else is out there, the team's going to run all over you.
Right.
Not all.
And the next
someone day. Cole, when you said earlier the Steelers are 1-11 now without TJ, that shouldn't even be a thing. Are you that dependent on one player on defense?
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's real. I think their defense is overrated. Is this a very fair point? I think it's a fair point.
Yeah.
To go out and say that this defense is overrated.
Yes.
Now, TJ Watt is a game changer. He's probably, you can put him up. You can say he's the best pass rusher in the league. There's a lot of good ones. Yeah. Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. He's in the top 3.
Yeah, definitely.
But this, how, they have to. They are dependent on him because he's an X factor, and I can understand that. It's like a team that has a Patrick Mahomes. If the Chiefs don't have a Patrick Mahomes, they're not sniffing the playoffs this year
at all.
Yeah,
at all. It's the same thing too with the Bills, but they have to do something. And also, too, quarterback is a need. It's 100% a need. You got to get some. You have they got a lot of work to do this offseason. The Steelers do.
Yes.
Before we can even talk about, playoff victories and, Super Bowls and all this stuff, got a lot of work to do. And by the way, you need to get an offensive coordinator. I do not want Leftwich. Absolutely not. I want someone.
I don't think a lot of people want him.
I want someone that has a new vision for football, like a Mike McDaniel. I want that kind of stuff being incorporated in the Steelers offense. I want something different. We need new blood in the coaching and with the coaching. Tomlin should not have complete autonomy anymore because, by the way, they did have a December collapse.
Yes.
Week 17 should have maybe been playing for the division, but no, they weren't because they lost to the Cardinals, who were like 2-10 at the time. They lost to the Patriots, and then you also lost to the Colts.
Yep.
So you lost to 3 non-playoff teams in a row, but you had to go and you had to rely on something to happen in Week 17 to go make the playoffs. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that can happen.
So ridiculous. So
you got to, and to piggyback off of that before we switch gears, just to wrap up, when you're heading into the playoffs, especially in the NFL, you don't want to be the team that, I needed somebody else to help me. Somebody lost, so I'm in. That's a bad sign. You should be earning your spot. Like, I deserve to be here. We're going to win this final game or these last 2 or 3 games to get to that spot. The Steelers, it was like, yeah, okay, we got the wins, y'all. We got a winning season. Let's just see who's going to lose for us to get in. That's where I think, Cole, that's where you guys lost it then. That mindset, having that mindset already, like, somebody's going to lose. We're going to root for this team because we need that team to lose for us to get in. That's the wrong mindset to have heading into the playoffs. It's just not good.
Right, and to have that mindset going into the playoff and just trying to bank on the Jaguars per se. If you guys were banking on the Jaguars to lose, look, frankly, Trevor Lawrence sold that game. If he had a pinpoint pass to his tight end Evan Ingram at that time, the Jaguars would have won that game. If Calvin really would have caught it, the Jaguars would have won that game. But since so many things had to happen for you guys to make the playoffs, and for even to put yourselves in that situation, I think you guys need to play better football in this season instead of saying, okay, week 14, week 15 comes around, and so let's just cross our fingers and just hope this team loses, these 2 teams tie. Let's hope this team loses. Now we got to beat these 5 teams in a row for us to make the playoffs. Like that to me, that don't make no sense. Because it's not realistic. And
I just really hope for the Steelers, though. The positive note is that they did fight at the end. They still kept the game within reach. That's a good sign heading into, you still lost, but that's still a good sign. Like, the Steelers didn't just roll over and just, we're done. They really, to the end, they fought. So that's something you can hang your hats on, to where you can go at those pieces that you need, hopefully, to potentially win a playoff game and potentially get to a division round, get to the AFC Championship next season and for seasons to come. But let's go to my team, because I've been waiting for this all day, the past 24 hours. My Green Bay Packers did what needed to be done. And I want to say this. I knew we were going to win because I already made a video last week saying we were going to win. I said 20-17. Now, I was not expecting us to blow them out like that, especially in their stadium, in their building. We're 7.5 point underdogs in that game. Dallas won 16 straight games at home. This is the 2nd seed. This is the team that has the number 1 scoring offense, number one receiver. Dak Prescott is MVP caliber. Top 5 defense. I didn't see it. What I saw was Jordan Love and Aaron Jones just wreaking havoc over everyone. That's what I saw. Michael Parsons had 1 pressure, and it did nothing, and it went for a touchdown. I'm not going to take anything away from what Dallas has done this season because they had a phenomenal season, but we all knew it was the time of wait till they get to the playoffs. We all say this every year. We said it about the Steelers. When Dallas gets to the playoffs, when was the last time they've been to an NFC championship game? I think that was in the 90s. I don't even think we were born. We weren't even born. No, we weren't born. And they haven't won a Super Bowl or been to the Super Bowl since the 90s. We weren't born then either. So why are their fans still saying, oh, Super Bowl when they win 12 games? Oh, yeah, we won the division. What does that mean? Man, absolutely nothing. And I saw some Dallas fans saying it was a fluke. Oh, no, it was not a fluke. It wasn't a fluke. I'm going to say it's not a fluke. I'm going to tell you why. You guys had the Super Bowl team this year. This was your year. That's what I was told. Oh, the Dallas Cowboys are going to spank the Packers. Jordan Love is the guy, even though Cole, Jay knows, everyone knows how I felt when we traded up for him. And I stood by that at the time. I still love Aaron Rodgers. He still has a special place in my heart. But Jordan Love has arrived. I did not see this coming. First season of him being a starter. Now, he's been in the league for 3 to 4 years now. But this is his team now. For that to have happened in your first playoff game with that young receiving core against that defense in that building, that says a lot, and we are a scary team. Now, I know we got to go to San Francisco and play another. That team is ridiculous, too, in San Francisco. But I give us a shot. I really do, because I've seen Brock Purdy. I've seen moments where he can be had. I've seen moments where their defense can be had. But for my Packers, what I want to say, if anyone from Packers Nation is listening, I am super, super proud of this team rallying the way we did. The turning point is when we beat Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. That was our turning point of the season, when we went in Detroit and beat them the way we did and went on that streak. And for us to have this momentum heading into this game, the 49ers have been resting. You know how this goes when you have a team that's hot like that, who perform that way in a hostile environment in Dallas. You go in there and hang 48 on them when no one expected you to, and now you're heading in there. Now, I expect the 49ers to be the 49ers. That's what they're going to do, but we have to keep up score. But they're going to be rusty. And if we come out swinging first, it's going to be a long game. That's all I'm going to say. But Anthony and Cole, you guys take it away. I did my spiel. I might have more, but I'm just so overwhelmed and just so happy. I'm going to enjoy this win, and I'll worry about the 49ers on Wednesday.
Well, I actually want to start off by saying, Jasmine, I do apologize. I know last show I did say that I had the Cowboys beating you guys because it's just the Cowboys. I mean, I know, listen, the NFL script writers had fun with this one. You didn't know if you wanted to keep the home record up in Dallas or have the Dallas tradition of their lifetime keep losing in the playoffs. Shout out to my family because I got some Dallas fans in my family. And picking back off what you were saying, Jasmine, that the Cowboys, they win 12 games and think they're going to the Super Bowl. But with some of the fans, it's worse. They beat one team by 50. Oh, my God. We're going to the Super Bowl. Dak is MVP. Tony Pollard's comeback player of the year. And CD's offensive player of the year. And it's like, y'all win one game, and that's what it leads to. You guys are beating on teams that barely have 3 wins to their names. So now you come back, and now you're in the playoffs, per se, in your home stadium.
In your building.
Exactly. You let somebody come into your home stadium and whoop you 21-0 before you even saw the end zone. How does that stack up? Because personally, I do not know how Mike McCarthy could do that against his former team. How does Matt LaFleur how does he have that kind of knowledge? How does the Packers defense have that kind of talent to put the Dallas offense into a stalemate like that? There's no way.
The number one scoring offense in the league was the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Right. And then they had the Packers come in and they couldn't touch the end zone for the first 3 possessions. I tuned into the game driving home from the store, right? First 2 minutes, 7-0. I'm like, okay, it's nothing. Dak throws a pick. Okay, what's going on? 14-0. Whoa, hold on. What's really going on? Then it come out 3-0 for Dallas. Then it come out again 21-0. I'm sitting here. I'm like, what is going on? This is playoff football. This is not Monday night. This is not Sunday night. This is not Thursday. This is playoff right. This is playoff football where every minute matters. You guys are playing like you're playing backyard with your kids, and you want to come out and let the Green Bay Packers spank you in your home stadium. Jordan Love is the future of that franchise. I will say that's my apology to you, Jasmine. Jordan Love is the future of that. It's the future of that organization.
But Cole, I'm gonna let you go. But one thing I'm gonna say, what's scary about my team, I'm not gonna get like so super high yet because we still have to go and win games. Woo! What's scary about this team is how young they are and how gritty they are and how physical, and they're not afraid. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, watching Jordan Love poise, there was no shaking. I mean, the defense is in his face. There was multiple times the defense is in his face. Literally, Micah Parsons, all these people are in his face. This guy is throwing bombs down the field. Bombs. Still seeing all. I mean, I'm like, what? Anthony, I was saying the same thing. I'm in front of my TV. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm thinking, this is my team now. I'm like, I love my team. I'm like, what is this?
Yes.
What is this? Defense getting pick sixes and picks. Then the offense, every time Aaron Jones touches the ball, I mean, he's going 10, 15 yards. Jordan Love is throwing deep to Romeo Doubs. I mean, everybody's wide open. And this is a Dallas defense who was ranked top 5 at home. They won. They were averaging 37 points at home. Now they got to 32, but that was empty calories. I don't want to hear about that. Where was it where it was 40-16 with 6 minutes left? Where was that? But Chloe, I'm gonna let you go. What is your take from the Packers and the Dallas Cowboys football game yesterday?
Just like everything, most of the games this week were boring. I mean, the Lions and Rams had a great game.
Yeah.
Lions and Rams was awesome. That was my favorite game of the weekend. I was so invested in that game.
From the minute start to the minute end, yes.
Yes.
Right. From the first second of the game, from the first snap of the game to the last, I was invested. That was just a phenomenal game. Now, about the Packers, Jordan Love, I watched him yesterday. I legitimately think like he's the future of the Packers. Like
forever.
What I saw, and Jasmine, I texted this to you yesterday. Yeah. He has progressed so much since the beginning of the season to now. And
it's scary.
It is scary to think because when he first started and they played the Steelers, I saw like nothing in Jordan Love.
Yeah, exactly.
But now it's like the way he progressed, the way he got better, the way he looked more confident in the pocket, and he was able to run, to use that mobility. It is something that every fan that you guys have to be, that as a Packers fan, you have to be so happy about. Because I mean, he really progressed. And I mean, I'm very, I'm happy to see it I want to see more good quarterbacks in the league. How many legitimate great quarterbacks are in the league right now?
Yeah, not game managers. I mean, guys who are putting the ball, like CJ Stroud, what he's doing.
Yeah. Yes. What CJ Stroud is doing is really special. I saw a graphic during the game when the future looked bright for both the Texans organization and the Packers organization.
Yeah.
And they went as far as to compare Stroud and Love to Brady and Manning. And I was like, whoa, hey now, let's not go too far. But I do see the vision. I do like what CJ Stroud is doing with Nico Collins and all the other Texans receivers. I do love what Jordan Love is doing with Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, and you can probably name more receivers than me, but those are the main two that I know. What those two quarterbacks, they're doing a phenomenal job with their organizations. Now, come next season, post the draft, post training camp, post learning whoever they sign, and talking about whoever they release and whoever if they get new coaches. But I'm so happy for next season because I want to see these two quarterbacks flourish into what they're destined to be.
And I'm gonna tell you, and Anthony, just to piggyback off of that. What's scary about the Texans and the Packers is very similar. It's really similar. When I look at the Texans, CJ Stroud, this is his first season. He's a rookie going to the divisional round. This is a rookie. And he breaking records as a rookie. He does not turn the ball over. When I watch CJ Stroud, especially on Saturday when they played the Browns, their coaches believe in him. You go throw that ball because you can do that. It's not, let's just safe. Like, you know how the Steelers do with Kenny Pickett. Safe. No.
As a Patriots fan, I know what that is. All I see are screens, handoffs, and check down. That's all I see.
CJ Stroud is throwing the ball down the field. He's pushing the ball. Jordan Love now is pushing the ball. Like, I don't care. Oh, I see him. Boom. And it's not even, let's just hope it happens. They're get the accuracy, the velocity of the ball, how they're getting to these receivers. And another thing, what's scary too, my team's number one receiver only had one catch yesterday. And that was Christian Watson. He was our first rounder last year. Isn't that scary to you? He's allegedly our first guy. He's our number one receiver. He's the one that can take the top off the defense. When I look at the Texans, they don't have a clear number one receiver. It's just guys that all of them can catch the ball. They have a running game. They have an O-line. They have a quarterback. They have a coach. And their defense is getting better. Now, their secondary is still in question. But if any team, I don't care, and both these teams are going on the road, they got to play the number one seeds, 49ers and Baltimore, even though I have them as, favorites and stuff like that, I'm still going for my Packers, though. But they have to be on their toes, Ravens and 49ers. They have to be on their toes. If Baltimore is asleep and the 49ers asleep, it's not going to be a good day. Don't give teams like that who, they came out swinging and they smell blood. Oh, my goodness. And they believe in each other, and these are a young group of guys. They don't know any better. We're not supposed to be here. No one expected the Texans to be here either. We're not supposed to be here. All the pressure's on you. We just gonna go out there and play loose.
Yeah.
It's scary, but I'm super excited because I just think whatever happens, if we lose, the future is super bright. It's super bright. Even if the Texans lose, future is super bright. And the coaches, you have to commend DeMeco Ryan and Matt LaFleur for for DeMeco Ryan, like first-year head coach, and you got this team together like this, you got a coach, and they have to keep their nucleus. When you have young quarterbacks like this, keep those people together. Don't go trading and firing and none of that. Keep those guys together. That's where we got the Brady. That's where we got all these. You get the Patrick Mahomes. Keep the nucleus together. Keep that coach and that offensive coordinator. Keep them together. Yeah, that's what you have to do. But yeah, I think this weekend is going to be a lot better for games, though, honestly, this past week, because I think we got the certain people out the way, certain teams out the way. Now this week is really going to say, okay, now we're getting to the nitty gritty. Now we're getting into the physicality. Now we're going to see who is really it. But let's go into our conversation we had before we leave about the draft. Now, we do have a draft show coming up, and I'm super excited. Cole is going to be down here in Florida. We're going to be in a location, not going to, give the specifics quite yet because we're still planning, but we're going to be out there. We're going to be talking about the draft and who's going to get what. But Anthony, you're a Patriots fan. What is your expectation heading into offseason? What do the Patriots need to do? Belichick is gone. A lot of stuff has changed. The scenery has changed in New England. What's going to happen?
Well, it is a new era in the Patriots nation. Gerard Mayo is now the head coach of the New England Patriots. He's been a longtime Patriot for 8 seasons, and he's won a Super Bowl with us. So I want to say, moving forward, I think the future is pretty bright for us. But the right pieces have to be put in stone. Now, if Gerard Mayo wants to come in, and right now he's looking for a GM, he's looking at the Falcons special teams coach. He's looking at the Panthers outside linebackers coach as his defensive coordinator. I don't hate it. Now, take it from me, I don't hate it. But the top 3 things, the top 3 pieces that he needs to address as a head coach to impress all of Patriots Nation, a quarterback. You need to draft a quarterback. Okay? Jaden Daniels is out there. Caleb Williams is out there. Drake May is out there. We need a QB. Before you address anything else, we need a QB. I understand Matt Jones has had this is year 3 going on to year 4. I think it's time to move away from Matt Jones. It's over. We've given him too much to work with, and we ruined him. So now here comes Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi, he's mediocre. He's mediocre to bad. He's one of the two. It will depend. It's not set in stone to whether he's good, he's bad, he's meh. He's all over the place. We don't know what he is. 1 week he's good, 1 week he's terrible. 1 week he's mediocre, 1 week he's needs to be benched or needs to be in, I don't know, in New York. One day, Gerard Mayo is going to wake up and say, I need to bring a quarterback for this organization. But first, I need to get my front office straight. Yes. And once he does that, I think with the 3rd overall pick, the Patriots take Jaden Daniels out of LSU. That's who I like. Because he can move the ball. He has great pocket presence. And if we get him a receiver either from the draft or we get it from free agency, like if we go out and get Mike Evans, because Mike Evans is in his contract here with the Bucs. If we get him that, match him up with DeMario Douglas, with Kendrick Bourne, and hopefully Kayshon Boutte if he's healthy. If we get him that, that's a good squad. It's not a Super Bowl squad, but it's a good squad.
It's a good squad. Potential.
Right. It's potential. We get him a QB, we get a receiver, and we get O-line. Trent Brown is out of there. As we know Trent Brown, he's just all over the place. He doesn't want to be in New England anymore. But we need protection for our QB, a QB in the first place, and we need a receiver. Because our defense was never the issue.
It's never been the problem.
Right.
Has never been the problem.
Exactly. With all that Bill Belichick has done, we had second stringers, backups, third stringers, practice squad players, all come in and do nice in our defensive system. But the offense was always the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But our defense can only do so much.
Yes. I agree with that. I think for New England, they need to get a quarterback, especially in the division where you have a Josh Allen, then Aaron Rodgers coming back soon. Then you still have Tua. I know Tua there's some, stuff that the Dolphins have to work out, but they got to get a quarterback that can keep up. You have to build this team up to keep up with these teams. Right. And I see in the future that the AFC East Conference or AFC East division, if they can go get a quarterback like a Jaden Daniels, go get some receivers, go get a strong O-line and start building, you can wreak some havoc in the conference. You could definitely do that. And you need to do that because with that, how the division looks, how it's going to continue to look, Aaron Rodgers is going to come back. He's going to come back wanting to continue to play. Tua Tagovailoa, I don't see Miami moving from him. And then, of course, you got Josh Allen. So you have to keep up. You have to go set the tone. You go from Tom Brady to Matt Jones that didn't work out. Go get a guy that is proven. Jaden Daniels is proven. He won the Heisman. He has been great for the past 2 years. Go get someone to start this franchise over. Start it over. Set it. It's a new era. We shouldn't expect to see Belichick or things that, this is what, no. New system. Put everything in place. I think Robert Kraft and this team, they know what they're doing. I think they're going to rebuild this team, and the Patriots they're going to be back again. It's just too much has happened. Too much is imprinted in this organization for it not to get back to that status. I think it can.
I agree.
And Cole, any last thoughts before we get out of here? Any last thoughts?
Yeah, kind of just to like piggyback off, what you guys were saying too. I mean, I think that like obviously Anthony's totally right. You have to get a quarterback, but you got to get people in the front office. Like
yes.
the first thing before you start with the draft, the Patriots need to get a front office together. You need to get your guys. You need to get your scouting teams ready because the draft is fastly approaching.
Mm-hmm.
It
April.
It's April. It's not that far away.
Nope.
And you think about it, the combine's going to be coming up. You're going to have these senior days. You're going to have you got a lot of events.
Senior Bowl.
The Senior Bowl, you have to get a front office together. And a front office, you got to get that front office together very quickly because you got to make sure everyone's up to speed too with the scouting. And you should have an idea as to who you will take at 3. You should have a list of 3 names that you want to take at 3. It's gonna be the quarterback, obviously. They have to take a quarterback. Mac Jones is done. We do think Mac Jones deserves another chance to start somewhere else.
I do. He was done, and he was done. He was in a very tough situation.
Right. Now, I will say in Mac Jones' rookie season, with what he did with Josh McDaniels, he took us to the playoffs, and that's what I like. That's why I wanted Josh McDaniels to stay. Mac Jones comes back, do it all over again, just add weapons and protection. We can go deeper into the playoffs, but that's not what happened. That's not the cards that we were dealt. Now, Mac Jones had 3 different offensive coordinators in his 3 years. If Mac Jones can go somewhere, like he can go to the Jets, right? Yeah. They've had the same offensive coordinator for some time now. And if they start building off with Mac Jones, I think they could do something. Mac Jones, Garrett Wilson, with Alan Lazard, with Xavier Gibson, they could do damage with that team. But now they're not going to do that because they may move on from Zach Wilson and have Mac Jones be a backup to Aaron Rodgers. But there's still a whole bunch of other teams that Mac would either be a solid backup or he could be a starter, but it's going to take some time to him to get used to his new players.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the recipe for disaster with young quarterbacks. You having multiple different guys and schemes, that's confusing. You go from Nick Saban, you get to Bill Belichick, and there's so many different guys coming in and out of the offense. You're just like, okay. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Go out there and just do what you do. It's unfortunate. And I don't think Mac Jones is bad. I just think he needs to be in a system that can help him, a system that a good coach that can coach and help him out. I do. You have to give the kid a chance. You can't just go out there and there's 3. No, you have to give these young quarterbacks a chance. It's hard enough to play in the league. It's hard enough. But I love that idea. I really hope the Patriots do well because it is, I did not like the Patriots. I'm going to be honest, because seeing them win all the time, I was like, but seeing the dynasty like being tarnished the way it is, it's like, it is unfortunate because it's like so many great memories were created that in sports history, all of sports. So you want to see them reset and get back to that status again. And I believe they will. And Cole, whether you believe it or not, I think the Steelers will get there. It's just they just have to put the pieces together. They have to put the right people in place. That's the biggest thing, putting the right people in place. But that wraps up the show. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Cole, again for constantly being on the show and just giving your expertise about your teams, about all the sports topics. We're going to keep this train rolling because it's about to get serious. The playoffs are getting cranking. We're really getting started. Super Bowl is next month. We're getting excited. But thank you Thank you, Jay, for constantly producing. I really appreciate it. And thank you to the audience for constantly tuning in and just giving your support to all of us. And we hope that we bring you guys great sports content. See you guys next time. Enjoy your evening.